Hello, this is Miss Pie. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use the sine or tangent functions. Remember, for your final project, you either need to use sine, cosine, or tangent in part of your picture or to graph part of your picture. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's first just start with the basic sine function. So go to Tab. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's the last one. All right, so we're going to just do sine, okay, sine x. So you go to trig, sine, and x. Okay, push enter. If you notice, it really just looks like this really weird flat straight horizontal line. That's not going to be very helpful for me at all. Let's figure out why it's so flat. Go to menu and settings. If you look here, your graphing angles are in degrees and geometry angles are in degrees. I'm pretty sure it's just the graphing angles that you need to change to radians. Let's look and see if that'll work. Yep, there we go. Now we actually can see the regular sine function. So the reason why it was all flat was because we were in degrees, and if you remember from our trig unit, when we first started using or graphing our trig functions, we were always in radians. So that's why you need to switch that to radians. So to go through that again, just go to menu and settings. And then the graphing angle needs to be in radians. If you feel like changing your geometric angle or geometry angle to radians too, you can, but you don't have to. All right, so let's go on from there. So the cool thing about your trig functions, at least I know with sine you can do this. Remember these angles that'll let you move it. If you click on it, you can move it around. Well, I want to get kind of this shape right here on the ribbon, and it looks almost like a sine function. So we're going to do at least part of that ribbon with the sine function. So if I move it there, it's really close, but it looks like I need to kind of stretch those out a little bit. So if I move, so here to get this little cross to move the whole graph, you need to move your pointer in the center. To get the little diagonal half cross thing, go to either a minimum or maximum point, and if you click on it, you can spread it out like this. You can also shrink your amplitude. So let me see, that looks pretty good. I think I just need to move it. There we go. That looks awesome. A fairly good match. Right here is really good. But down here, I was hoping to be able to get this bottom part too. It doesn't look like I can. Let me see if I can maybe shrink it and then maybe move it between the two. Let's see. Almost. It's getting really, really close there. All right, so with this one, what I would probably want to do is limit it from here to, I don't know, I don't want to see it on this little tie part, so probably to there, okay? So, and these are just like any other function. You can put the limit on there, control equals, okay, the such as line, and I want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe a little bit past -6. So let's try -6.2. Okay, control equals less than or equal to x. Control equals less than or equal to, let's say 1, 2, 3, about 3.5, -3.5, so -3.5. Let's see what that does. Alright, that's really close over here. I think it's, I might want to make it a little bit shorter over here and definitely a little bit shorter over here. So I'm getting close to what I want. Let's go. 6.2 is a little bit too much, maybe -6.1, and 3.5 is probably a little bit too small, maybe -3.6. Let's see what that does. All right, that looks pretty much perfect. Okay, and so I can go ahead and delete that. And remember, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Escape. remember how to do your attributes. Go to Menu, Actions, Attributes. I want to go ahead and make the line thicker and change the color to match the other lines. Let's see, yep. And then escape to get rid of that. And then color, line color 1 in yellow. All right, so there we go. So that's that part. Now, remember that I did have this bottom part graphed too, but with the limit, it was, I need to change my limit. So I'm going to just copy it and paste it. And for now, whoops, I don't want to delete the whole thing. I'm going to take off my limit because I'm going to have to adjust that. And then I don't want to move that. I need to take off this first part where I do all this stuff. Whoops. Still need to have the equal sign there. All right. There we go. So now, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and move this further to see if I can get this whole part right here because I don't need this part. But you know what? With the limit there, it's not going to let me do that. So I'm going to delete that and start again. But the nice thing is Sine Functions you can transform just by clicking on it and dragging it. Okay, so again, just pull it this way. Let me see, I had that part with the sine function. I need to make it narrower probably. Ooh, I almost have that inside loop. So for most of this bow, I will probably go ahead and use the sine function to graph it because it's looking like it's matching up very nicely with my curves. So that's one reason why I love using sine to adjust the curves because it's such a nice smooth curve there, and it's so easy to just drag it to wherever you want it. See right there, very nice. Okay, and then I can do my limit on this one as well. Let's see, control equals for the such as line. Possibly 3.2 or negative 3.2. Make sure you put the negative sign there. 3.2 less than x less than maybe negative 1.5 perhaps. Negative 1.5. Let's look at it. Oh, too small. Cut it off too short. Not negative 1.5, but maybe just negative 0.5. Need to get rid of that one. There we go. All right, so that's looking pretty good. See right there? Very good. So that's just using sine. You can also use your tangent functions that are pretty fun to use. I'm going to see if I can do this little curvy thing right here on the ribbon with tangent. Just super fast. Tangent x, and let's see if I can transform it the same way. Okay, so here's my tangent function, and let's see if I move down here, will it click on it? No. No. All right. So it's not letting me just click and grab it, so I am going to have to go ahead and do some transformations. But you can see how I have this curve here that would work fairly nicely for this curvy part here. I just need to stretch it and compress it and shift it down and over and all that fun stuff. So just very quickly, right here, I only want one tangent line, so I'm going to try to multiply it by a number 10. Nope, that doesn't spread it out, that just lengthens the curve. Okay, that's stretching my curve. I don't want to stretch the curve. I want to multiply x by, let's multiply x by 5 and see what that does. Wow, that makes it much closer together. I don't want it close together, so maybe it needs to be a fraction. Instead of multiplying it by 5, let's multiply it by 1/5. There we go. That stretches it out. But you can see it also stretches this part here. So I'm going to have to fiddle a little bit more with my stretching and compressing. I'll probably have to look in my notes on transforming your tangent functions and all that. I know we did a lot of stuff like that in, let me see, I'm flipping through my notebook, sorry. Let's see, that was section unit 4-1. We did lots of shifts and stuff. Alright, so if I want it over there, I want to shift it horizontally. Let's see, so I'm going to do -2. This is way too far apart. So instead of doing 1/5, let's go with 1/2. There we go. Alright, so that's definitely bringing them closer together. And I'm thinking we are going to limit this anyway, so I don't really have to worry about the other lines. Let me get rid of this parentheses. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that and just focus on shifting the curve over and down. So to get it to move over to the left, or no, that actually moved it to the right. To move it to the left, it should be a plus sign there. I also want to move it down. So outside of the tangent, I'm going to do let's do a -2. See what that does. Okay, so you can see how I'm getting this curved part here down a little bit lower, and I still need to move it over. So I'm going to change it up a little bit more. Let's move it over 3. And I probably want to move it down just a little bit more, so 2.5 there. Okay, so it's getting closer to the area. Just in the interest of time, I'm not going to get it exactly where I want it, but that just shows you how to transform these. To shift it to the left or to the right, you're going to add or subtract something here to shift it up or down right here. I can probably try one more time, maybe put a 4 there and see what that does. So that's getting closer to my curve, and I can go ahead, well, let me see, and I can spend more time on adjusting this, but I won't do it in the video. And then once I get it to where I want it, I can go ahead and limit it so that it goes from like, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So -5 to maybe -3. I'll show you how to do that super fast. I know I've shown you how to do lots of limits, so you should be very proficient with it by now. So we said -5 is less than x is less than -3. Is that what we said? -3. Let's go from there. Okay, and so you can see how you're only getting that one section. And again, I am going to have to change the limit a little bit more, and I would also need to shift this more to fit my ribbon. All right, hopefully you found this helpful on how to use your trig functions and to do pictures, okay? Bye.